The police union in Little Rock, Arkansas is drawing criticism over its attack of a candidate for mayor in the city. In a now retracted Facebook post, the city's Fraternal Order of Police wrote, "The guy on the left is Frank Scott Jr., who's running for Little Rock mayor. The guy on the right is Roderick Talley. Tonight, Talley is running from law enforcement after fleeing the Cross County Courthouse and hitting a deputy sheriff with a car. Tell the guy on the left to help us find the guy on the right who's publicly supporting his campaign." The Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police wants citizens of Little Rock to know that candidates who align themselves with fleeing felons fail the qualifications for any public office. Joining me now, the man on the left of that picture, Frank Scott Jr., a candidate for mayor of Little Rock. Frank, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. CNN's Bakari Sellers tweeted this out after that was posted, saying that Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police is trying their own Willie Horton-style attack, refers to a notorious campaign ad from 30 years ago that blatantly played on racial fears and stereotypes and tried to taint by association. Do you agree with that characterization, that this was a Willie Horton-style post that played on potential racial stereotypes?
Well, there are definitely some stark similarities to what has happened to our campaign this past week. This is clearly a divisive smear tactic against my campaign, when we have this entire time have been focusing on unifying our city, making so that we move from being disconnected to connected. This also stems from opportunity where during my campaign that we've been focused squarely on securing our neighborhoods and helping make certain that we have true community policing. But also we've been calling for an independent citizens review board. That's one of the reasons that I believe that back in October that the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police decided not to endorse my campaign.
Yeah, they have.
But I want to make certain that it's very clear that I strongly support and respect the Little Rock Police Department.
Okay, so let's talk more about I want to finish with this post and then talk about the police department, because there's plenty of talk about there as well. Talley was arrested for being late to a court appearance. He is accused of hitting a deputy while fleeing the building, turned himself in. What is the story behind the photograph?
Oh, well, the story behind the photograph is that moments before that photograph was taken, I was actually, many may not know that I'm an associate pastor at Greater Second Baptist Church, and I came there to offer prayers to Mr. Talley. I also came there because of what was exposed by the Washington Post due to some no-knock warrants that have been going rampant right here in the city of Little Rock. And so I wanted to understand this very unconstitutional tactic that's been posted by the Little Rock Police Department and offer prayers to Mr. Talley as an associate pastor.
So let's talk about that. You brought up the Washington Post story. Roderick Talley is featured in this Post story from about a month ago, maybe 5 weeks now. And the title is "Little Rock's Dangerous and Illegal Drug War." And he's suing the police there in the city and claiming he was the victim of illegal no-knock warrants. And the writer says that the Little Rock Police Department Narcotics Unit is violating the Fourth Amendment nearly every time its officers serve a drug warrant. And the city's judges, the check and balance on police excess, are letting it happen. Do you believe that the police department, you say you respect the law enforcement there in the city, do you believe that the police department is routinely violating the constitutional rights of the people of Little Rock?
Yes, I do. This is a common practice that has been exposed by the Washington Post. Another reason why I attended that press conference to gain more information about it. I think this is another case of when you have true community policing, you also understand cultural competency, you understand the rule of law, as well as implicit bias and de-escalation tactics. And I'm hoping that a new Little Rock Police Department will now understand that the no-knock warrants has a clear unconstitutional tactic against its residents, and that its residents that has been shared with me as well as has been covered by the Washington Post, we are not standing for that.
All right, we tried to get a comment from the Little Rock Fraternal Order of Police, but they spoke with two CNN affiliates. Let me read what they said. John Gilchrist, I should say, is the president. He said that we were trying to make a connection and it went down race lines, and that was not the intent for us to go. Also, though, everything in the post was correct and factual. I'm not apologizing for the post. Again, that group has endorsed your opponent in this runoff. Do you think that this post will have an impact on the race finally?
Yes, this post has had an impact on the race. It's clearly shown that our city continues to be disconnected, but I want to make certain that it's very clear we're not so disconnected that we can't come back together. Again, that's my internal why for running for mayor of my hometown, is to unify our city. I have credibility in every area of our city and can truly bring us back together. This is just an instance where we have to continue to focus on cultural competency. And when you focus on cultural competency, you'll understand all sides of the perspective in our city. I would hope that the Fraternal Order of Police would reject this tactic that they've taken, but I also would ask that my opponent would hope that they would disavow this issue as well.
All right, Frank Scott Jr., thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Victor.